Good afternoon, His Excellency Mr. António Costa, President of the European Council, and Her Excellency Ms. Ursula von der Leyen, President of the European Commission, Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, Honorable Ministers, members of both delegations, distinguished guests, and friends from the media. We will now have the press statements. May I request Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi to give his remarks to the media.
Your Excellencies,
Your Excellencies, President António Costa and President Ursula von der Leyen, delegates from both countries, friends from the media, Namaskar. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome my two close friends, President Costa and President von der Leyen, to this unprecedented visit to India. President Costa is known for his simple lifestyle and his affection for the people, and that is why he is often known as the Gandhi of Lisbon. And President von der Leyen is not only the first defense minister of Germany, she is an inspiration for the entire world as the first female president of the European Union Commission. Yesterday was a historic moment when, for the first time ever, leaders of the European Union took part in India's Republic Day celebrations as chief guests. And today, it is one more historic moment when the two largest democratic powers of the world are adding a decisive chapter to their relations. Friends, over the last few years, there has been remarkable progress in India and European Union relations based on shared democratic values, economic synergy, and strong people-to-people ties. Our partnership has touched new heights. Today, we have a 180 billion euro trade between us. Over 800,000 Indians live in the countries of the European Union and are actively contributing to it. From strategic technologies to clean energy, from digital governance to development partnerships, we have added new dimensions of cooperation in all areas. And it is based on these very achievements that at the summit today, we have taken several decisions that will benefit all sections of society. Friends, today, India has concluded the largest ever free trade agreement in its history. And today is the 27th. It is indeed a happy coincidence that this FTA, that we have an FTA which is with 27 countries of the European Union on the 27th of this month. This historic agreement will make access to the European markets easier for our farmers and small businesses. It will create new opportunities in manufacturing and will further strengthen cooperation between our service sectors. And not just this FTA will boost investment between India and the European Union. It will help forge new innovation partnerships and will strengthen supply chains at a global level, which means that this is not just a trade agreement, it is a new blueprint for shared prosperity.
Friends, along with this ambitious FTA, we are also creating a new framework for mobility. This will create new opportunities for Indian students, workers, and professionals in the European Union. With respect to science and technology, we have had extensive cooperation between us for a long time. Today, we have taken a decision to further strengthen these important linkages as well. Friends, defense and security cooperation forms the basis of any strategic partnership, and today we are formalizing it through a security and defense partnership. This will further deepen our partnership in the areas of counter-terrorism, maritime and cyber security. It will also strengthen our shared commitment to a rules-based international order. It will enable us to expand the scope of our cooperation in the Indo-Pacific region, and it will also create new opportunities for co-development and co-production for our defense companies. Friends, building on our achievements today, we are launching an even more ambitious and holistic strategic agenda for the next 5 years. In a complex global environment, this agenda will give us a clear direction. It will take forward our shared prosperity. It will give an impetus to innovation, strengthen our security cooperation, and further deepen our people-to-people ties. Friends, cooperation between India and the European Union is a partnership for global good. We will extend our trilateral development projects from the Indo-Pacific to the Caribbean. These will give concrete support to sustainable agriculture, clean energy, and women empowerment. We will together establish the IMEC corridor as an important link for global trade and sustainable development. Friends, we are seeing a lot of turmoil today in the global order. At such a time, the partnership between India and the European Union will strengthen stability in international systems. In this regard, we have had extensive discussions today on various global issues, including Ukraine, West Asia, and the Indo-Pacific. Respect for multilateralism and international norms is our shared priority. We agree that for addressing today's global challenges, reforms are essential in global institutions. Friends, there comes a time in the relations between countries when history itself tells us this was the turning point. This was the moment when the relationship took a new direction, when a new era began. Today's historic summit marks that turning point in the relations between India and the European Union. I convey my grateful thanks to you once again, President Costa and President von der Leyen, for this unprecedented visit, for your friendship towards India, and for your commitment to our shared future.
Thank you, sir. May I now request His Excellency, Mr. António Costa, President of the European Council, to give his remarks to the media.
Prime Minister, my dear friends, dear Ursula, ministers, dear Kaya and Maros, good afternoon. Thank you, dear Prime Minister Modi, for welcoming us on this special occasion. We were privileged yesterday to be your chief guests for the Republic Day celebrations. Such an impressive display of India's capabilities and diversity. Today is a historic moment. We are opening a new chapter in our relations on trade, on security, on people-to-people ties. I'm the President of the European Council, but I'm also an overseas Indian citizen. Then, as you can imagine, for me, it has a special meaning. I'm very proud of my roots in Goa, where my father's family came from. And the connection between Europe and India is something personal to me. Also because we conclude today our trade negotiations. We relaunched at the latest meeting that I had the pleasure to host in May 2021 in my previous capacity. Our summit sends a clear message to the world. At a time when the global order is being fundamentally reshaped, the European Union and India stand together as a strategic and reliable partners. Today, we are taking our partnership to the next level. As the two largest democracies in the world, we are working hand in hand to deliver concrete benefits for our citizens and to shape a resilient global order that underpins peace and stability, economic growth, and sustainable development. I would like to share three messages. First, the European Union and India must work together towards our shared prosperity and security. India is the world's fastest growing major economy. Trade has flowed between our two continents for centuries. And trade is a crucial geopolitical stabilizer and the fundamental source of economic growth. Trade agreements reinforce rules-based economic order and promote shared prosperity. That's why today's free trade agreement is of historic importance. One of the most ambitious agreements ever concluded, creating a market of 2 billion people. In a multipolar world, the European Union and India are working together to grow spheres of shared prosperity. But prosperity does not exist without security. Strengthen our cooperation to better protect our citizens and our shared interests. Working together to counter the full range of security threats we face in the Indo-Pacific, in Europe, and around the world, reaching a new level of strategic trust between us. That is the significance of our agreement on a security and defense partnership. The first such overarching defense and security framework between India and the European Union, and the first step towards even more ambitious cooperation in the future. This brings me to my second message. As the world's largest democracies and champions of multilateralism, the European Union and India share the responsibility to upholding the international law with the United Nations Charter at its core. Earlier this morning, we and President Ursula had the opportunity to pay tribute to Mahatma Gandhi. And I reflected upon his words, which still hold true today. And I quoted, "Peace will not come out of a clash of arms, but out of justice lived and done by unarmed nations in the face of odds." Our summit reaffirmed our commitment to supporting efforts towards a comprehensive, just and lasting peace in Ukraine, one that fully respects Ukraine's independence, sovereignty, and territorial integrity. This is a key moment. We are supporting all efforts to reach a just and sustainable peace. Ukraine has shown its readiness, including at the cost of difficult compromise. I know, dear Prime Minister, that we can count on you to help creating conditions for peace through dialogue and diplomacy. And this is my final message. Together, we must show leadership on global issues. Cooperation between the European Union and India will help shape a more balanced, resilient, and inclusive global order. Just two examples. I'm proud of the commitments we are making for greater cooperation on clean energy, green transition, and climate resilience. And our collaboration through the Global Gateway and on the India-Middle East-Europe Economic Corridor is decisive for global connectivity. By implementing the ambitious Joint Comprehensive Strategic Agenda towards 2030, we will align our priorities with concrete actions for the next 5 years, delivering real benefits to our citizens. Today, we have tangible progress and set an example of cooperative leadership on global issues with our free trade agreement, our security and defense partnership, and our joint strategic agenda. These outcomes are crucial milestones on the longer path. We look forward to continuing the journey together, as always. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Her Excellency Ms. Ursula von der Leyen, President of the European Commission, to give her remarks to the media.
Dear Prime Minister Modi, distinguished friend, António, my friend, ministers, especially Shankar and Guyal, Vice President Kallas, Commissioner Šefčovič, Excellencies, friends, thank you very much for the exceptional hospitality we experienced. It was such an honor for us to be your chief guests at the Republic Day yesterday. This is a memory I will carry for a lifetime, because the sense of communion was so powerful. People filled the streets united in pride and joy of belonging to the Indian nation, and rightfully so. India has risen, and Europe is truly glad about it, because when India succeeds, the world is more stable, more prosperous, and more secure. And we all benefit. Prime Minister Modi, dear friend, 1 year ago the full College of Commissioners came to India. You mentioned it. And this is also a very special memory for me. It showed the seriousness of our intent and the strength of our commitment. Today we reap the fruits of that commitment with our historic summit. And let me start with trade. Prime Minister, distinguished friend, we did it. we delivered the mother of all deals. We are creating a market of 2 billion people, and this is the tale of two giants, the world's second and fourth largest economies, two giants who choose partnership in a true win-win fashion. A strong message that cooperation is the best answer to global challenges. This trade will integrate further our supply chain and strengthen our joint manufacturing power. It will cut up to 4 billion euros in annual tariffs for exporters of all sizes. And it will create good jobs for millions of workers here in India and in Europe. At the same time, this agreement will build on the natural complementarity of our economies. It brings together Indian skills, services and scale with Europe's technology, capital and innovation. It will create levels of growth that neither side can achieve alone. And by combining these strengths, we reduce strategic dependencies at a time when trade is increasingly weaponized. We will discuss this and more at our first EU-India Business Forum later today. I want to offer a special word of thanks to the people who worked so hard to make this day a reality. Starting with the European Union's Trade Commissioner Maroš Šefčovič and his counterpart, India's Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal. You have done an outstanding work. This is historic, and it would not have been possible without you. I also want to pay tribute to their colleagues, Sabine Weyand and Secretary Rajesh Agrawal. Many others made vital contributions. I congratulate you all. The hard work was worth it. Prime Minister, distinguished friend, we're not only making our economy stronger, we're also delivering security for our people in an increasingly insecure world. And today, the world's two largest economies and democracies launched their first ever security and defense partnership. This is a landmark departure and a trust-based platform for cooperation on the strategic issues that matter most. In doing so, we will help to build each other's resilience. Europe and India have a long history of cooperation in the defense industry. Now we will enhance this teamwork even further. We will deepen our cooperation on maritime security, for example, joint naval exercises to tackle piracy. And we will step up our work on countering cyber and hybrid threats, which are getting more sophisticated by the day. And our partnership includes a dedicated dialogue on space security, from situational awareness to secure connectivity, and stronger cooperation on counterterrorism. Finally, we are launching negotiations on a security of information agreement. Europe and India have chosen to be reliable partners to one another, and this is how we demonstrate the trust we share. Prime Minister Modi, distinguished friend, I want to turn to innovation, because here too we share core values. The freedom of research and science is paramount for us. Europe and India will always choose science. We will always choose progress, the way forward. We will always choose technology at the service of our people. It's part of who we are. And our cooperation on human-centric, trustworthy artificial intelligence is one of the best examples. So today I'm glad to announce that we are working on India's association with Horizon Europe, backed by funding firepower of 100 billion euros. Horizon is the world's largest public research program, and I can't wait for our best talents to get to work to advance health, clean energy, frontier technologies, just to name some. We will set up EU-India innovation hubs. This will help researchers and startups to collaborate on next-generation technology. And we are also launching the EU-India Startup Partnership to boost co-creation and high-potential ventures. Finally, Prime Minister Narendra, we both know our greatest wealth are our people. That is why I'm so glad that we are signing an agreement on mobility. We will facilitate the movement of students, researchers, seasonal and highly skilled workers. And this is also why we are launching the first EU Legal Gateway Office in India. It will be a one-stop hub to support Indian talent moving to Europe in full alignment with EU member states' needs and policies. This is good for our economies. This is good for the friendship between our people. And this openness benefits us all. As we conclude this 16th summit, let me reflect on another event of deep meaning. 2 weeks ago, India marked Makar Sankranti. It's the beginning of Uttarayan, the sun's northward journey. From darkness to light, from stillness to growth, from what was to what can be. And that is what makes our summit so unique and timely. The time is right for renewal, for fresh momentum, and for opening a new chapter in EU-India friendship. And this is exactly what we have achieved together today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we conclude the press statements. Thank you very much for your presence.